Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So I finally did a Tunisian crochet project, which is a jumper. This is a size 16, so extra large, size 16 Australian size. So it's really a wonderful stitch. First thing, I thought I doubted it first while I was doing it, but when I blocked it, it actually looks really good. So yeah, the blocking does make a difference. So what I used here is the Tunisian double crochet. So you got the simple stitch here. You insert it as a simple stitch, but it's a double crochet. It gives that like nice twisty or the mini cluster thing there. So yeah, it looks really nice. It says just a different stitch, very simple, very beginner friendly as well. And I used single crochet back loops only for the ribbing. So for this I used a yak wool. I had this a while back, so I'm not sure if they still have them. I got them from AliExpress. They were like 5 years ago, so I'm not sure if they have them. I had it translated using an app. So it is 25% yak wool, 50% wool, 25% acrylic, and it is 100 grams per skein. But the yarn meter, it doesn't say at all, the yarn meter. And I try to get the width of the yarn. It's 0.3 millimeters, so it's like DK weight but 3-ply. It had like 3 strands twisted together, so like I don't know, 3-ply DK weight yarn. So for this project you need a 7mm, hope you can see this, they're carved in, 7mm Tunisian crochet hook with the cable, the long cable. You need the 5mm regular crochet hook for the ribbing. You need scissors, some stitch markers, and a yarn needle, and measuring tape as well, and the pattern. So yeah, and that's all you need for this, and just the pattern and the weight gauge. The gauge was 13 stitches. Was it 13 stitches? I've got my 13 rows. Each row you make will account to the number of stitches you do of the Tunisian crochet. So 13 rows for 10 centimeters. Everything's down, written in the pattern in a way, and the sizing charts as well. But one thing I did criticize myself during the video while I was making the tutorial, you know, about these increases, why there's holes because of the increases. So, and that's why I like to do top down crochet jumpers or sweaters or cardigans, anything like that, just because of the increases of the Tunisian crochet. But what we should have done is 1 row increase, 1 row no increase. So increase, no increase. So that might have worked. But anyways, we've learned our lesson. And just make sure you don't tighten I use the mattress stitch. As you can see here, the mattress stitch. Don't tighten too much when you pull the yarn too much to bring in the panels together. It's a bit tight, but it's okay. It's because I pulled it too tight. But what you can do is increase the number of stitches. So what I'm going to do, increase the number of stitches for an extra large for the sleeve. So that's one. It fits perfect. So this is made to fit, because the yarn is stretchy. The stitch makes it stretchy as well. So it is made to fit the sizing, and once you block it, it just stretches slightly. So it's an ease fit, just a slight ease fit. So yeah, let's get stitching. Also forgot to mention how many yarns I've used, how many skeins I've used. So I put them all in this paper towel holder there. So I used nine balls of this and just a bit of this one, so 9 and a bit for extra large size 16. So yeah, and it's the 100-gram yarn, the 100-gram. Yeah. All right, so yeah, let's get stitching now. Okay, so we're going to start with the ribbing. I made 77 rows. I am an extra large size, so this video would be an extra large, so size 16 here in Australia. So I don't know if it's the same size in your place, but I'm going to make 77 rows of the single crochet ribbing. And you can make the amount of rows you have on the pattern. So that's one. I'm going to chain 9. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I forgot. I'm using the 5mm crochet hook as well. So we're going to use the regular crochet hook for the ribbing, and then we'll start with the Tunisian double crochet on the body. Just make sure if you can see this. All right. Alrighty. Okay. So from the second chain from the hook, just do a single crochet and all the way down to the end of the chains. So single crochet in all chains, so you should have 8 single crochets. Okay, so chain 1 and turn. Now what I do, I usually do a single crochet in the first single crochet and in the last single crochet, and in the middle I do back loop only single crochets. So 6 back loop only single crochets in the 6 single crochets, and a normal single crochet in all that stitch there, single crochet. Now chain 1 and turn, single crochet in the first single crochet, single crochet back loop only in the next 6 single crochets, and a normal single crochet in the 4 stitch there in the last one. So there you go. So then that creates a nice edging where I have here as well, a nice thick edging, you know, for the ribbing. And at the start, you know, when we start with the Tunisian crochet stitch there, so it gives a nice thick edging. All right, so I'm gonna do 77. You do as much as the pattern according to your size, and you can also check on your size as well on your body. So I'm going to continue on. So just remember, single crochet in the first and last single crochet, but in the middle 6 single crochets you do back loop only single crochets. Okay, so back loop only single crochets in the 6 stitches there. And a normal 4 single crochet in the last stitch. Chain 1, turn. So continue doing that, and I'll meet you once you've completed your rows, number of rows, and we'll get on started with the Tunisian double crochet there. All right. Okay, so I've reached the 77 rows. There we go, 77 rows. So what we do is change our regular crochet hook to the Tunisian crochet hook, which is the 7mm crochet hook, Tunisian crochet. If I can get the over here, but it's engraved in. There we go. Alright, so you put in that loop. Now this loop is counted with this 77 row, right? So the amount of loops you have to have on your hook is the amount of rows you have on your ribbing. So we're going to do the foundation chain. So that's already one loop there. Now we're going to go to the second row here. Insert hook, grab loop, and leave it on the hook. Now the third row here. There we go. The fourth row, this big lump here, fourth row. Insert hook and grab a loop. That's it. See, now we have 4 loops. And continue along for each row. So make sure you've inserted your hook in this second row, not the first row, because you already have a loop on the first row there. So keep moving to the end, inserting your hook and leaving the loop on the hook. So the amount of loops should have the same amount of rows that you've done for your ribbing. So I'm going to continue that. So this is the indentation there. Oh, I forgot to mention, make sure you have the cable one there as well. Okay, and to this one. Oh, whoops, there we go. Alright, so continue all the way back to the end of the row, and I'll meet you there. Up to 76, and instead of putting the hook here, I'm going to put it at the end there. So it's 77. Pretty. Okay, there we go. Just tighten it. Alright, so I got 77 rows, so we're doing the foundation row, if I forgot to mention that. Alright, so for the return pass, we're going to do yarn over and pull through 1. It's like a chain 1. And then yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way back to the start until you have 1 loop on your hook. Okay, so I've got 1 loop on the hook, so leave that there. So what I'm going to show you is the Tunisian double crochet. It's called Tunisian double crochet. It looks similar to the knit stitch, but instead it has that kind of that twist there. So that looks like the Tunisian knit, the simple stitch, simple stitch. And this one is part of the, it gives that twist of the double crochet. So it's really awesome. So, and it gives that extended stitch as well. So in order to do this, so we've done the foundation row. What we do at the start of each forward pass, oh, excuse that bell, it's the oven. What we do is chain 1. So we can have the height of that stitch. So we yarn over and insert hook in the second vertical bar here, but the front vertical bar. The front vertical bar there. So I'm just going to stretch this for you. There's the back and there's the front. So the front vertical bar as you insert the hook in using the simple stitch. So we yarn over and insert hook in the front vertical bar in the second stitch. Alright, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2, so you can have 1 loop on the hook. Do it again. So yarn over before you insert your hook in the front vertical bar. So yarn over, insert hook under vertical bar, grab a loop, pull through, yeah, and then yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and keep the loop on the hook. Do it one more time. So yarn over, insert hook under vertical bar, yarn over, pull through a loop, you have 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, you have 1 loop on the hook. See that beautiful twist there? It gives that there's little mini kind of a bobble stitch. So yarn over, insert hook under first vertical bar, yarn over, pull up loop, you got 2 loops for that stitch there, yarn over, pull through 2, you have 1 loop on the hook. So do that all the way and before you reach the end of the row, and I'll meet you there. Oh, what did I do? I just confused you here. Yarn over. There we go. Sometimes I can't stitch while I talk, so it's a bit kind of difficult. But yeah, I'm getting the hang of it. Just make sure you yarn over first before inserting the hook. So you just insert your hook as you do in the simple stitch. Then you yarn over again, pull through 2 loops to leave 1 loop on the hook. Each 1 loop represents 1 stitch. Alright, so I'm going to continue that and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so we're nearing the end of the row. Just 1 more there. Alright, and now we just turn the edge of the side and you see those 2 V's. So you insert your hook under these 2 V's. Grab a loop and keep it on the hook. Now for the return path, we usually chain 1 and start the return path and pull through 2, pull through 2. So what we're going to do is chain 2 instead, because I tried chain 1, it was giving this crooked edge. So chain 2 actually keeps the height and the straightness of the edge of this panel. This is the back panel, so I did this before, and the same applies to what I'm doing now for the front panel anyway. But what I'm going to do is just use lesser rows. So I'm just going to make a nice curve of the neckline. Okay, so what we're going to do now for the return pass, instead of chain 1, we are going to chain 2 to keep that height of the stitch and to keep a nice edging like I did here, that nice straight edging. All right, so chain 1, chain 2, there we go. All right, and that is the same heights that we're going to do as well of the stitch when we forward pass as well. So we've already chained 2, now yarn over and pull through 2. So yarn over, pull through 2, 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 all the way back to the start of the row. Okay, so just a reminder that when you return pass, you chain it 2 instead of 1. Let's get some more yarn here. Oh, that was a malfunction right there. Alright, so I'll meet you back at the start of the row and just leave 1 loop on your hook. Okay, we're nearly at the end of the row. There we go, leaving 1 loop on the hook. Let's get some more yarn here. Alright, so same thing again. we chain 1 for this type of stitch. You chain 1, and then you yarn over and insert hook in the second stitch there, but under the first bar. Okay, so I'm just under the first bar there, and yarn over, pull through a loop, and then yarn over, pull through 2, and keep the loop on the hook. So yarn over. Did I mention that you have to insert your hook in the second stitch, not the first? All right, so under the first vertical bar, yarn over, pull through 2, leave loop on hook, yarn over, insert hook under first vertical bar, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, leave a loop on the hook. So do that all the way to the end, and you insert your hook in the second stitch there that we've made, those 2 stitches in the second stitch. So I'll meet you back at the end of the row there. I was nearing the end here, so that's the last stitch, and now we insert the hook in the second stitch, second chain that we did. So that's 1. There we go. So that's 1 there, and that's the second one there. So you insert your hook in the second chain. Just making sure there. And chain 1, chain 2. Did I? 1. Hang on a sec. Let me just fix this. Yes, I was right before. Okay, so that's 1 and that's 2. There we go. Alright, so 1, chain 2 and 2. There we go, chain 2. Okay, and now yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way back. So you insert your hook in the chain 2 we've done. So when we return pass for the second other row, we insert our hook in the second chain that we did, which is this one there. You can turn that aside and see that's 1 and that's 2. Okay, so let me just move this and continue on with the yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way back to the start. And we're nearing the end of this return pass. Make sure you leave 1 loop on your hook. There we go. Alright, and getting there. Beautiful. So what we're going to do is same thing, chain 1 at the start of the forward pass, yarn over and insert hook under the second stitch but under the first vertical bar. So you always skip the first stitch there, and continue on all the way to the end here, and then you insert your hook in the second chain. So that's 1 and that's 2. You can turn it around and see 1, 2, set your hook there, and then yarn over and make 2 chains, 1, 2, and then continue on of yarn over, pull through 2 for the return pass. So do that all the way. I've done my back panel. I've already done the back panel and left some yarn so I can, you know, sew in the edges. So look how beautiful and textured this is. This is really, really nice. So continue doing that for your first. This is the back. Continue doing that for your back and front panel, and just make sure your front panel is just probably 2 rows or 3 rows shorter than your back panel, because I'm trying to create this nice this edging, this neckline, that round neckline. Alrighty, so I'll continue on doing this, and I'll meet you back once the panels are done, and we'll continue on with the sleeves and the neck ribbing as well. Alrighty, so I'll meet you back soon. Okay, so I've partially completed the front panel. So what I'm going to do, as I said before, is you know, make a, at the neck area, just a curved area, just a little lower than the back one, the back panel. So the back panel reached about I did have my notes here. This is the back panel, and I'm doing the extra large size. I'm size 16. So yeah, when I did not stretch it too much, and it's the right, oh, the wrong side. That's the right side. That's the right side. So I did 59 rows. I counted it, which is much easier. 59 rows, reached about 63 centimeters when it's unblocked, and when it's slightly stretched, like a bit of blocked, it will reach approximately 66 to 67 centimeters. So the width depends on the size of the rows, number of rows you did, according to your size. So that's why I'm just going with the length over here. So I've reached 59 rows. This is the back panel. So for the front panel, I've reached 56 rows, but I'm going to make the shoulders the same length, right? The shoulders have to be the same length, so I'm going to add more rows to the shoulder section here. So I need to do 3 more rows. So this is 56 rows I've done. So 3 more rows, and I've marked the I marked 21 stitches from shoulder to neck, or just, you know, just a little bit further than the neck. You can do that. Mine reached 20, oh, hang on, it reached 16 to 17 centimeters from shoulder to neck area. So shoulder to neck, about 16 to 17 centimeters, and I've did that, marked it with a stitch marker. I did 21 stitches, marked it at 21 stitches, counting this front one as well, the first one, and counting from the very first chains as well. So from there to there's 21 stitches. So I marked at that. So for the front panel, what I'm going to do is to show you, I'm just going to stop making, and I did it for the front panel as well, 21 stitches on each side. I'm going to stop making stitches up to the 21 stitch and just do 3 more rows. Same thing on the other side. So when you've done that, you do the binding off as well. I'll teach you how to do that, and you do the same thing on the other side. But let's move ahead and do it with, let me just get these organized. All right, so there we go, organized. So I'm going to continue on with the same stitch. So remember that I did 56 rows here. Remember, chain 1 and just skip the first stitch, go to the next stitch, and continue with the same method of doing the Tunisian double crochet. Until you reach that stitch marker. Okay, we're close. I just placed the stitch marker under the bottom stitch there, so I can just know the the stitch there, so I don't have to remove it every single time. All right, so last stitch is there. Let me just move these. So what we're going to do is insert the yarn, the hook, like we do to a knit stitch, like that, between those two vertical bars there. Grab a yarn and yarn over, pull through one, and then yarn over, pull through another one. So we're making 2 chain here, like we did usually on the chains there at the end of the row. See how it's the same height? Okay, so now we do yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, that's return pass, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way back to the start. So that's 1 row we've done. We need to do 2 more. Okay, so chain 1, because we're doing a double crochet, Tunisian double crochet. Continue on with the stitch pattern. Remember to yarn over first, now we're doing the second row of the shoulder seam to match the length of the back panel. Okay, we're close there. Okay, so we can just stretch it out a bit. So that's 1 chain, and that's the second chain there. So we just insert the hook in the second chain. Make sure you get the 2 V's there, those bars there. Grab a loop, chain 1, chain 2. There we go. And we're getting that straight line there. All right. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way back to the start. So that's our second row. And now the last row. Last row. Okay, I'm just doing the return pass of the last row now, which is the third row of the shoulder. And then we can do the bind off. Alright, so the bind off is very simple. It's doing a slip stitch, but you insert the hook as you do with a how you insert the oh my god, the main stitch. But we are going to insert the hook. Okay, sorry about that, just got distracted. Alright, so we're going to insert, we're doing the bind off for the shoulder seam here. So what we do is we insert the hook as we do when we're normally doing the main stitch, but for this main stitch we're going to insert the hook as we do a simple stitch. So under the first vertical bar here, so you grab a loop and pull through as you do, oh my god, you pull through as you do in the slip stitch. And oh, okay, Let me do it again. You may want to hold the yarn there and just pull through. There we go. So insert hook under the first vertical bar as you do in the simple stitch. Grab the yarn, pull through the 2 loops there. So insert hook, grab yarn, pull through. Insert hook under the first vertical bar, grab yarn and pull through the loop. Insert hook, grab yarn, pull through the loop. So you get that nice bind off there, and it's easy now to do the mattress stitch as well when you're trying to seam in the edges. So we do it all the way. Just insert your hook in the second chain, grab the yarn and pull through. There you have it, a nice straight edging and a straight bind off there. Beautiful, nice and neat. So what I'm going to do is make a long, I'll give you that much, just double it. Just a bit more just to be safe than sorry. And what you do, just pull the yarn through the loop so you can make a knot, and there you have it. That's the first shoulder there. Now we'll do it for the second shoulder. What you do here is just insert the yarn. We can make a loop on the yarn, on the hook, sorry. Or you can attach the yarn, make a knot and attach the yarn there. So that's our first loop. All right, and we continue with the same stitch. So oh sorry, we'll do chain 1. Yep, chain 1, remember that. Just going to put this through there so we can grab it. Now yarn over and insert your hook under the first vertical bar. Oh geez, come on. All right, yarn over, pull through 2 and keep it there. So yarn over, insert hook under first vertical bar, grab the yarn and pull through 2. So just continue with the same stitch, and here's just really easy because you already have that chain 2 there. So just continue doing that and make it for 3 rows, just to match the number of rows you have on your back panel, but using the shoulder part there on the 2 sides. So continue doing that, and do the bind off on the other side and leave a long tail, and we'll move on with the sleeves. Okay, so I've done the first sleeve, and as you can see here, there are the increases, but once you tie them, it won't be that much visible. This yarn is the first time I'm working with yak wool and a combination of wool and yak wool and acrylic yarn, but it's kind of like very light and stretchy. So and this stitch makes it stretchy as well, and because it's extended, it's a big kind of stitch. It's a lengthy stitch. Sorry. So the first thing I just want to mention is that when I was counting the back panels, I was counting through the stitches on the side for each one, but generally this stitch is counted using these 2 there. So I was counting each one like that. So instead of 59 rows for the back panel, it's actually 31 rows, counting. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, this whole thing is a stitch. So let me just get the back panel. So instead of counting along each edge of that, it's actually there's 2 chains. So the loop and that chain we made, so it's actually a full stitch like that. So it's actually counted as, you can count from that line there, or as you can see, that vertical line, the horizontal line there as well. So between those two, they're like that. So that's 1 stitch, that's 2nd stitch, that's 3rd. So the back panel is usually and the front panel, it's 31 rows. So this one, the sleeve came up to 19 rows. Or if you want to use the measurement, it's actually about 44.5 centimeters. 44.5 centimeters, which is 17.5 inches. But what I did is I measured my underarm to my wrist, and I took off about 8 centimeters because the this part here where the sleeve is actually extended past your shoulder. So I don't want to make the sleeve too lengthy, you know. So that's why I took off at 8 centimeters from the measurement from the underarm to the wrist. All right, so 19 rows of this. I did 32 rows of the ribbing. I started it here already, so make 32 rows of the ribbing. All right, let's move this aside. And what we're going to do is, depending on the size, I'll put all the information on the screen as well, and on the pattern, because in it, I'm doing extra large, so size 16 extra large. I've got all my notes here. So I have to make 7 increase rows to reach the number of stitches to match my circumference of the upper arm. All right, so that's for the extra large. So I'll put the number of increased rows you need to make on the screen anyway for each size, and you can find that on the pattern as well. So where's my hook? Alrighty, let's get my chair, put this down a bit, and let's get stitching. All right. So the ribbing applies the same as you do for the back panel and front panel, but all you have to do is 32 rows instead. So we've got our first loop from the first row there. Now, using your Tunisian crochet hook, obviously you've got to do the foundation row, so you grab loops from each row. So if you have 32 rows for the wrist, you should have 32 loops on your hook. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, oh sorry, 1 2 3 4, and this there, 5, and then this big bumps here, that's 6. All right, so I'll do that all the way. You should have the same number of loops as the same number as of your rows. Okay, so I got 32 loops on my hook. Make sure you count them as well. And now for the return pass, remember this is just the foundation row. So yarn over and pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, so all the way back. So for the first row now, for the main stitch, we are not going to increase. We're going to increase from the second row. Let me just do the first row. Remember, chain 1. Just continue with the yarn over. Continue with the pattern as for the main stitch. Oh, and I'll meet you at the second row. Okay, so we've done the first row now. Now the second row we start on the increases. So as you can see, I've done here 7 increase rows. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and once I reach the number of stitches, I just stop increasing. Then I reach the number of stitches to match my circumference of the upper arm. So once I reach that number of stitches, I stop increasing and I just continue on with making that sleeve length there. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so we're going to increase from between the second and the third. Between the second and the third, we're going to increase. So what I'm going to do is just chain 1 now, as we do with a stitch. Now yarn over, continue with the Tunisian double crochet, and then to increase a stitch, what we do is yarn over. Okay, so we're going to do it between the second and third stitch. And now to do the third here, we yarn over again. So, and then continue with the Tunisian double crochet stitch, and then you have an extra stitch there. So we increase at the between the second and the third, and we increase between the second last and the one before it there. So between those two, so two increased stitches per row. And then we just continue on with the Tunisian double crochet. Okay, so we're close to the end there. Just do a Tunisian double crochet here. And so in the last 2 stitches here, the increase should be in the middle. Okay, so we'll do a Tunisian double crochet, and then we yarn over for the stitch, increase stitch here, and then yarn over again to complete the Tunisian double crochet in the second last stitch, and then you insert your hook in the second chain we made in the first row. All right, and then yarn over, pull through 1, make a chain as well. Now yarn over, pull through 2. This is our increase stitch, so yarn over, pull through 2, and continue on, yarn over, pull through 2. So all the way back. And this is the increase stitch we made in the first part. But you continue on with the yarn over and pull through 2. And yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, until I have 1 loop on the hook. So we've made an increase. Now you continue on with the increases. So we make chain 1, and I'll show you how to make a stitch in this increase. So we yarn over and make a Tunisian double crochet in the second. Now we have a third stitch here. So we should have like 34 stitches. Now we yarn over and make it, it's going to be a 1 vertical bar there. So just go under it and make a Tunisian double crochet as you normally would. There you go. Now we have 3 there. And this is the one we made. This is the third stitch in the previous row. So just go yarn over and then under the first vertical bar there, and then yarn over, pull through 2. There we go. So now we have 4 stitches, and continue on with the Tunisian double crochet all the way until we reach the next increase stitch that we made, and make another increase as we did here. Did I make another increase? No, sorry. Let me get back. All right, so we have an increase there. So we yarn over, that's for the increase, and then yarn over again to insert the hook in the increase stitch we made previously. Then yarn over, pull through two, pull through two to make a stitch. All right, there we go. And then that's the increase that we just made. And then continue on with the Tunisian double crochet. So you have to make an increase before you make a stitch in the increase vertical bar there we did. All right, so I'm going to continue on. All right, we're close to the next increase there that we did. So just continue on with the Tunisian double crochet. And we have to do an increase just before we do a Tunisian double crochet in the second last stitch there. All right, so there's this one, and then we'll do, as you can see, like it's like a connection to the next stitch. So you can see this is the vertical bar, and this stitch has these two there. So the first front and back vertical bars. So this third one here is where you enter the hook, and continue with the Tunisian double crochet, and then you make an increase, and then, which is a yarn over, and then yarn over again, so you can make the Tunisian double crochet in the second last stitch. There we go, we made an increase there. And now just insert your hook in the second chain. And we did. And yep, yarn over, pull through one, make a chain, and then yarn over, pull through two. That's the increase. Yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two, all the way back to the start. Just to show you this, there's an increase we made here, right there. That's the increase, and this is the increase we just made on the forward pass. Okay, so I hope that made sense. So go all the way back, and this is the increase stitch we just made. But remember, you got to make an increase before the increase stitch, and just between the increase stitch and the second stitch there. All right, so this is now the the third increase. So we make a Tunisian double crochet in the second stitch, we yarn over for an increase, and then we yarn over again to make a Tunisian double crochet in the increase vertical bar there. And then we have the another stitch here, so just make the Tunisian double crochet, continue on along the row, as you can see. That's the increase stitch we're making right there, just just after the second stitch and before the third stitch you make an increase, and here you make an increase before the second last stitch. Okay, so which is right there. As you can see, this stitch belongs to these two vertical bars. This vertical bar is the increase, it's alone. So you just insert your hook as you do with the Tunisian double crochet. Alrighty, so let's move on. Alright, we're just close to the end of the row. As you can see, that's the increase stitch there, and we already have a stitch there. So just continue on. Just trying to get it. It's that one there. Alright, so we do a Tunisian double crochet in that vertical bar, and then we do an increase, which is a yarn over, and then yarn over again to do a Tunisian double crochet in the second last stitch. Oops, there we go. And that's the increase there, as you can see, between those two. And then just insert your hook in the second chain that we did, and pull up a loop. So chain 1 and then chain 2, obviously. And now continue on with yarn over, pull through 2. That's the increase. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. So all the way back. All right, there we go. So we've made 1, 2, 3 increases, and here too. All right, so continue on with the increase. I'm going to make 7, so just depending on the size, and to reach the number of stitches, the final stitches of the increase, to match the upper arm circumference. And then once you reach that number of stitches, you just continue on with the length of the sleeve instead. So don't make it too long. as you can see, I stopped at the 7th increase and just continued on with the stitch there. There we go, so you can see better. Okay, so continue on doing with your number of increases, and I just hope that made sense what I said before. So that's the second stitch there, that's the first, second, and then you make an increase after the second, and with this let me see, get this one, this bar here, you make a Tunisian double crochet because that's the increase, and this would become the that is the third stitch there. All right, and then once you reach here, you have an increase there, so you make an increase after you make a Tunisian double crochet there. So you make an increase and then you do a Tunisian double crochet, so an increase between this increase stitch and the second last stitch. All right, and then continue on with the return path and all. All right, so I hope that made sense. Just let me know in the comments if it didn't. Yeah, so everything's outlined in the pattern, so I'll continue on with the sleeve, and then we put the panels together, and big voila at the end. Okay, so I've made the 7th increase row there, and I finished it, so I should have 46 stitches. Alright, so now what we do is just continue along with the number of rows and number of stitches, so no more increases after you've reached the certain number of stitches you have. As for me, the extra large, 46 stitches. Okay, so I've reached 19 rows, so the way I'm counting is not from the ribbing, so I just take that off and I count from the start of the main stitch and just move on. And that's how I count the rows, so the rows of the main stitch. Okay, so 19 rows, now doing the binding. So we insert the hook under the second stitch, but under the vertical bar there, the first front vertical bar, and just slip stitch. Okay, so insert hook in the front vertical bar of the second stitch, next stitch, and yarn over, pull through the loop, making to a slip stitch. So do that all the way as we did in the other panels as well. Okay, my love, so I've sewed in the edges of one side, and I used the mattress stitch instead. I haven't blocked it, I just sewed it as it is, and then I thought I will block it once it's all sewed in. Just don't have that space. So I used the mattress stitch, and it gives out this nice look at this one, nice edge, nice edging. Is on all sides here as well, and this side here too. But the thing is, if I stretch, if I start blocking, probably these stitches will start to, you know, stretch out, and you know, because of these increased parts there. That's why one thing I like about doing, instead of increasing stitches, I like to do one size of the sleeve instead, and you know, just put them in and sew it in. So other thing is and this, I don't know why this came out like that, but I also use the mattress stitch as well. But you can use that stitch where you go over and under, that kind of stitch. I forgot the name for it. I don't know. And we mark on the middle of the sleeve too. So since I have 46 stitches, I marked the middle stitch, which is 23rd stitch, and you put it at the middle there here when it's laid flat, and then you just sew in the edges there as well. And don't forget the edges of that sleeve there, and the edges of those panels as well on the side. Just make sure there's 21 stitches as well over here. So I'm just gonna do, might need to turn it around a bit. Alright, yeah, let me just show you an example of a mattress stitch. So I'm doing this standing up. So you, in your view, you should see a V here and a V there, all V's. So you insert your hook in the middle of the V, and you see like a spine. You feel like there's a spine there, like an X or some sort of thing, but it's really hard. It's like, not hard, but like kind of dense. Alright, so you pull the yarn there, not too tight. Go back to the first one, and you go under that spine there. Push the needle up to the second V stitch in the middle, and pull it. And same thing. So where you inserted, where your yarn came out from the previous V, you insert your hook there. You feel that, see that spine there came out. So, and you push your needle to the second V, and it go, and just pull it just gently. Same thing with the other side in here, where the yarn came out from. You insert your needle there, come out from the next V. You can feel like a hard spine over here. Just fix that. There we go. So once you do a few more, you just pull the yarn. Just hold one end and pull on the other end, and you see like a nice seam there. Now let's do a few more. Of course, you can use any other stitch method you like, but Oh, and the mattress stitch is used on the right side of this Tunisian crochet. I think other methods of stitches you use the you make sure you use it on the wrong side, but this one you use it on this mattress stitch, you use it on the right side. Okay, so we've done a few and just pull, and there we go, it's seamless, as you can see there. It's a very nice stitch to do. On the edges here, I'm just going to show you here on the edges. First you've got to attach the sleeve. So for example, obviously on the right side, make sure the middle one just attached over here, and you can start from, you know, your right or left side, any side you feel comfortable. Once you do that, you know there's like 2 stitches here on the edges because of the double crochet, so we insert the hook and go out to the next stitch instead, so we skip a V, as you can see. All right, you can do the same to this one, so you can have the same length of stitches too, and the same thing applies once you do the sleeve. You can go to the next stitch there, so V here, and move on to the next one there, so you just skip a V. But when you reach the ribbing, is, you know, you just you don't skip any V's, you just continue on with each V. So yeah, just in, out, in, out. Alrighty, so I'm going to continue doing that. I hope this was helpful, and I'll show you the end results as well. Okay, I forgot to mention the collar. We have to do the collar after we do the seamings of each edge. So for the collar, just attach the yarn how you would like to attach it, preferably at the corners of each neckline. And what we're going to do is single crochet along the edges. So I'm just going to chain 1, single crochet along each stitch, and even here as well, we'll single crochet along each stitch as well. So what I'm going to do is single crochet here, and now that one. So we're using the regular crochet hook, the 5mm crochet hook. Okay, I skipped the edge of this one where I did the seaming, and I went straight to this row here where you can see the V-stitch, and we're going to do a another single crochet over here where the other V-stitch is. So because these are two kind of stitches here, for example, because they're lengthy, we're going to do 2 single crochets. So it's 1 and 2. So just follow the V section. Here's that one. Now for this one here, that's that. Let's try something. So if you insert your hook in the it's going to have this effect. Oh, no wonder. Oh, can you believe it? I did not do the binding for the front. Oh my god, no wonder. Alright, let's fix it. Let's fix this. I wonder if it feels different. So what I'm going to do is insert the hook into this stitch there where the spine is. I just single crochet, do it again on this one and on this one. So in each space of each stitch. So between the vertical bars where the V stitch is on top. Alright, so it's kind of sorted. There we go. I remember like we did the binding on the shoulder section, so instead of this neckline there. Oh well, but it's already fixed. There we go. So just remember it's on that spine here on top between these stitches, so you can see that V section there. There we go. All right, beautiful. It's getting there. We fixed it. Okay, we're getting to the first single crochet there, so I'm just going to skip that one and just a slip stitch on the first stitch we made, single crochet. So we're going to chain, I don't want to make it too long, it's chain 5, 1 2 3 4 5, and then from the second chain from the hook, make a single crochet all the way down. So we'll have 4 single crochets. Okay, and then slip stitch on the next single crochet on the neckline and slip stitch in the other one as well. Now come back to, because we did the slip stitches, 1 2, and then single crochet, back loop only, back to the end of this ribbing here. I'll do a single crochet at the last stitch anyway. I like it that way. So chain 1 and turn, single crochet on the first stitch. Now back loop only, single crochet on the next 3, 1 2 and 3. Okay, and then a slip stitch in the next 2 stitches. So that's, whoa, all right. Oh wow, it's hard to get. It's 1. I'll just do that one. 2. So just continue on doing the round section and join in with your first ribbing one there. Okay, so I'm going to continue on and I'll show you the end. I still have to block it, so I'm going to steam block it. You guys can either steam block it, wet block it. I don't know what you guys prefer to do. So I'm going to continue doing this one, just flattening it out. There we go. Yep, and I'll show you the end results. Okay, so I finished it. Yay, actually looks good. I love it. I'm so happy with it. And this is after the blocking. So what I should have done, just made this a bit extra. It fits perfectly, but I feel like making it a bit more extra. I think I made it too tight. I pulled the strings, the yarn too tight. So yeah, don't pull it too tight. So but it's really good. It fits perfect. This is the stitch. Look at that. It's a beautiful stitch, and it is airy. It is like 40 degrees right here Celsius down in Oz. So I'm doing this for you. I'm boiling hot right now, even though the aircon's on, but you know, it's actually really good. I like it. Don't mind the mess behind me, but yeah, awesome. I hope you guys like this. I liked it. First I doubt the first before blocking, but yeah, after blocking actually is really good. So yay. So let me know in the comments if you do. The patterns on my web and Etsy as well, and all the links down below as well. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next project. Bye.